Sup everybody, this is Karak with ACG, and welcome to a Walking the Walk that didn't start out as one. So I was planning on doing this as a first moments video. Now what those are is they're a little different than a Let's Play and a little different than a Walking the Walk. They're just sort of the first impressions of a title. As I continued to play this game and discuss some of the things about it and really looked inside of my brain for what I was trying to get through in this video, it dawned on me that because of the unique reviews this game is getting and just overall the way the game is treated, but the way I'm hearing from other people that they've enjoyed it, I was like, you know what, if there's any game out there that deserves a Walking the Walk, whether it proves that it doesn't do a good job on reflection of life or doesn't do a good job on its graphics, sound, music, whatever, still, I think it needs to be covered, and it's enjoyable and interesting when frankly, we have a lot of games out there that I just don't really feel the drive to do a Walking the Walk video for. So, I'm going to do a Walking the Walk video here. You're going to notice me talking as if this is a first moments video for a bit, and sort of changing the structure as we move along until finally I realize a little ways through the video that, hey, this is a Walking the Walk video. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Peace out. What's up everybody, this is Karak with ACG and welcome to an episode of First Moments where we're going to do Homefront the Revolution. Now a lot of the people that I sort of trust have actually liked this game a good deal. They of course don't think it's perfect or anything like that, but there was some disagreement amongst a lot of my friends on exactly how good this game was versus some of the ratings it got. Now I think technical bugs and stuff like that aside, the game probably has some issues as well, but I think those technical bugs really did impact a lot of people and their enjoyment to get into the title. What I want to do is sort of look at it, just, you know, I'll take you guys through maybe 10, 20 minutes and we'll just check it out and see. Xbox One version, by the way. I have the PC version, I think. No, I don't, actually. Alright, so... nope, we're good. One thing I always got to do, and this is just me, is I got to check all the controls. I like to take a little gander at what we got. Whoa, what we got is a busy as hell controller. Cool, whatever. Now, Cadiz had said that he actually thought that they're temporal anti-aliasing. Wonder what that does to the frame rate. Of course we'll have that on. It's very interesting that... that's very interesting that you can make that choice. And of course, subtitles on. For now, aim assistance on just because I'm playing through and I don't want to die a ton of times as I get used to this. This will also be the first time I'm playing my Xbox One through a system to take the recording and the PC. That's why you guys see the camcorder, or the, I'm sorry, the webcam. It won't be all the time that I do this, but occasionally when I get a chance. One of the things I've always hated, here we go, is when somebody's talking and everything doesn't really match up with their webcam, their voices, but we'll see.
Started back with the Apex Corporation.
Sponsored by Monster.
And the birth
Just
of
joking.
Silicon River in North Korea. Even back then, their tech was way ahead of what was coming out of America. We bought everything they could sell, from phones to tablets to just about anything. And when they started making weapons, well, we couldn't resist. Our wars in the Middle East have been getting worse and worse, one leading straight to the next.
Always got to like the P90.
Terrible day in Riyadh, we kept fighting as our country fell apart. And still, we bought Apex to give us an edge. As the dollar tanked, our debt to North Korea spiraled. Unemployment rocketed, and the country was on its knees. The failing government defaulted on the debt. And the North Koreans made their decision. Every piece of technology they'd sold us had a back door.
Sure it did.
They turned off our military with a single button press.
That shit is so unrealistic, but that's alright.
The first KPA troops on U.S. soil were said to be there to rebuild. But after the early aid packages, there was only brutality. They stole our liberty and our freedom. America is under control of the KPA.
I like that old fucker. He's like, I will not back down.
Rise again.
You can't put baby in a corner. One of the things that I'm noticing right now, whether this is true or not,
Revolution.
is it is sort of weird, but I don't think this is actually a sequel to the original, because the original, some of this had happened. I don't know. You know, we'll have to see as we go in. Some of that stuff, you just have to take that technology stuff with a grain of salt. Same thing that you deal with COD.
Hello and welcome to KAC. Living Camp. Today's top story.
K-pop star.
Preparations begin today for the much-anticipated Patriots' Day parade. This auspicious calendar event celebrates the contribution of the liaison officers who work tirelessly to bridge the gap between the emergency administration and the ordinary citizens. To ensure the safety of the citizens during the parade, Mayor Simpson has vowed to redouble anti-terrorist efforts and has allocated additional peacekeeper resources to tackle any and all criminal activity in the lead-up to the parade. Mayor Simpson has just released the following statement.
We all know only too well the threats we face daily here in Philadelphia. The bombings, the shootings, all orchestrated by Benjamin Walker's national network of terror. Rest assured,
Terror.
we will bring these criminals to justice.
Peacekeeper patrols keep our streets safe and secure for all citizens.
Lord.
Thanks to improved threat recognition systems in our drones,
Turn that shit
potential
off,
terrorists
Brady.
can
there
be
we go.
identified and neutralized swiftly.
That fucking guy. He calls us terrorists after what he's done?
He wouldn't be so confident if he knew Walker was right here in Philly.
Yeah. Walker's really gonna stir things up. How long till he's due?
5 minutes. Hope one of those new drones doesn't scan him. Are we ready?
Think so. Fucking hope so.
Wildfire.
Only been, what, 3 days with us? And you're gonna meet Walker in person? He's the whole reason I'm here.
He's inspired all of us. Brady, can you pass me some gas?
So just recently I got to play the original, and it is pretty impressive when you see these jumping graphics
Thanks.
on these
I
next
guess
gen
Walker
systems.
was a legend in Washington too, huh? I heard a little about what happened there. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're here with us
Hey
now.
guys, there's something weird. The street's deserted.
What?
Shit, is it us?
Fuck, Walker's gonna be here any minute.
It's a raid!
Oh, that guy just got sunk. Welcome to the Dirt Nap Central. Population U. Oh, shit. Okay. So, you know, like I said, there is some improvements in graphics, of course. Unfortunately, at the same time, not the greatest looking game in the world. It's certainly not, you know, Battlefront, Star Wars, or something like that.
We don't tell him nothing, Brady. You hear?
Hello. Thank you for waiting so patiently.
Thank you for
We can
waiting,
get started now.
even though you're tied up.
So, you are gonna tell me where I can find Benjamin Walker.
You're wasting your time here. The last thing I heard, Walker was down in Memphis.
You know I have superpowers.
Wait, what?
Fuck your powers, you pathetic little traitor.
Oh, sounds like someone needs a demonstration. I'll show you exactly how powerful I am. I take my hand like this. I point.
Oh, that's crazy.
Do it, you son of a bitch!
No! No!
Hey, that's something.
That is magic. That is magic.
So, how about it? You ready to talk now?
I'll tell you.
Magic knuckles on one. Oh, that was nasty.
I'm getting tired of your bullshit.
Man, this guy is a terrible interrogator. Terrible interrogator.
Start talking. I won't go so easy on you.
It's Walker.
Wait, wait!
Oh, suck it.
Fuck you.
Ah, that didn't look good.
Get out of here. Oh, shit.
Let's do it. Oh man, it's been a while since I've... Well, we'll see. All I can do is sit here, I guess. Wait, let me grab him. Nope. Here, have this phone. Plastic surgery. I've got this knife. I can help you now.
We gotta get out. I know where to go. Help me up.
I don't even see him get hurt. Let's go. Oh man, the one thing I have to say though, the constant camera movement during those cutscenes is pretty crazy. It's just all over the place. If you're somebody who's susceptible to, you know, something motion sickness kind of stuff like that, you'd probably notice that over a good period of time. You know, I've been on the record, like when the original game came out, I've just always been a fan of it. I don't know why. I think I got tired of the typical Russian, Ukrainian crisis type situation. It's just like, how many times can you sort of plow the same field? And I was excited to check something else out. And the original Homefront had its issues, certainly, but it also had some stuff that I really liked about it. I just liked the differing, you know, antagonists that you weren't. I guess a couple games had done that prior, but you got to really do something different. The fights and the battles weren't the greatest, but one thing about this game, and talking to Cadiz and talking to some others, is that, and I'm sure you guys, if you saw the podcast, heard this, they definitely supposedly sort of out, you know, Ubisoft in their own game when it comes to flexible creation of content. And it's supposed to be really, really good when it comes to just like going and doing things in the game world. I mean, even people who disliked it state that.
Transceiver and hack into it. That'll connect us to the hidden resistance signal and show us the closest safe house. Here, take it.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to say, there is a slight...
Working blind here. You need to find a resistance stash. That should have intel on the district, including transceiver locations. But hurry, Brady, we don't have long.
Okay, so one of the issues I'm seeing is that there is an odd lag, just a small lag, when it comes to movement. So I'm going to turn this off. I wonder if you can see it. Oh yeah, you can see it. So that's pretty cool that they allow you to do that. But I would assume that the reason why it's not on all the time is because you are going to be looking at some kind of frame rate hit. Pretty cool. Let's see. Okay, that didn't seem to fix shit. So, in fact, goddamn, I would swear to God it's actually a little bit worse. So, we're going to go to visuals. I'm going to turn this back on. Might as well have it look nice. See, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a ghosting effect when that anti-aliasing merges those frames and those different samples. And
it will find us. We have to locate a safe house.
It's not terrible, but you can notice it on the edge of the guy when you walk forward. He sort of ghosts, like a weird blur. It's not bad, but we'll see how it looks in the main game.
They will find us. We have to locate a safe house.
Okay, one thing I really like, right now at least, is the environmental audio is actually pretty spot on.
You can do this, Brady.
If you guys heard us talking in Oxenfree, we talked about the rain coming in on a game and that sound, that constant blanket of sound that a lot of people don't understand isn't really rain. Rain has multiple aspects to it, and multiple different frequencies in that tonal range. I love that you can hear it hitting plastic,
You're our only chance.
wood, and something else. You can hear it hit 3 different things. Very cool sound. All right, so looking at this here. Oh, wait. Whoa, what the shit? Oh, that actually is cool. Look at this. So you can see your feet. That is not that bad. That's sort of impressive that you can actually see his foot go up on there. Even though it sort of does the can, but Now, if you guys are, you know, expecting me to go running and gunning full speed and win the game in this, you know, gameplay time frame, that's not going to happen. I am definitely a fan of just sitting back and checking out everything about the game, especially drawers.
You're our only chance.
I guess there's nothing there to get. There's so many layers of audio right now. It's really, really well done. You can hear creaking, something moving, and you can actually hear the entire house sort of shift. Oh, there we go. I thought that was creaking. That's actually just that light shorting out. Definitely safe, right? What's this? Alright, so we've got our different things we can get. Got our hack. Distraction. I don't know what that is. I don't have anything, I guess. Got an explosive. Incinerary. I don't have that yet. So right now we've just got... flashlight. Your cell phone contains several applications designed to help you with your roles. A resistance fighter mission log provides more detailed information about your active mission thread plus current objectives. A shortcut allows you to jump to the objective location on the map. You can scroll to see all previous threads. Tabs allow you to view details. Maps displays a top-down map. Messages contains all read and unread messages. Camera allows photographs to be taken. Oh, cool. Okay. Includes a high-level zoom for scoping out potential targets. Handbook contains all tutorials, documents, and notes you find throughout Philadelphia. Transponder used to track hidden stashes. That's very cool. It's just right up here. Very easy to see. Here. Take a picture of that graffiti. Let's zoom in. Oh, okay. Or not. I guess we must be zoomed in all the way. Alright. And out. So,
a security operation is occurring in this zone. All travel is suspended.
Another day for you and me in paradise.
okay, so they've got occlusion right as well, and they've also got some reflection going on because you could hear that horn coming around the corner. There's actually a lot of really cool aspects to this right now, sound-wise. Again, you know, this is... don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the game's amazing right now. I'm just saying that at what we're looking at, it actually... there's some pretty cool aspects of it right now.
Come on, anything.
Attention. A security operation.
So another thing you'll notice is they've got a filter. Every game depends on the level. It might be the entire level, it might be the entire game. Will choose, many times they'll use a sort of a color filter. You've heard me joke about games having a urine filter or whatever. You know, different filters sort of invoke different feelings from people. This is definitely slightly yellowish, not just from this light here, but you'll notice a tinge of yellow almost everywhere. Just a little bit of a tinge of color, so... some low-res textures, but nothing horrible. One of the things I want to say is that, you know, when it comes to these games, you just really sort of have to take them as a holistic vision and not just each little aspect. And that's what I'm going to be really interested to check out here as we move forward. Because this is sort of going to be a first moment / walking the walk. And it'll be interesting to see sort of what I see versus what a lot of those reviewers did in the past. All right, let's get out of here and go on our way.
Attention. A security operation is occurring in this zone. All travel is suspended.
I don't want to go out too far, but I gotta say, just looking at this, one of the things Cadiz had said is he had felt that the game was actually very, very pretty, and that there were a lot of points within the title where he was really amazed at how good it looked depending on what it was doing. I gotta say, you know, where the Division went with a slightly more colorful aspect, right now, like this area, this is really, it's sort of mood invoking, which I like. It'll be interesting to see when it falls apart. I'm gonna pause this and verify that everything's looking good and recording, and I'll pop right back in. So, what I've been doing, I paused for a second so I could go and basically just sit there just for a second and listen to the sound and also identify what I thought about it. It's layering. Cadiz had mentioned that the music was a little repetitive. I haven't got to that point, but I do find that it's a little loud for this kind of game. where it sort of becomes the game and gets in your face. Luckily, of course, you have typical sliders.
Attention. A security operation is occurring in this zone.
Oh, this is fucking great. I'm gonna be late for my shift.
Can't you tell your LL about
I love that little fake out of the water, making areas wetter as it falls. It's nothing more than just an overlaid texture, but it's still very cool.
how do they look with themselves?
What would make you wake up and think, I know, I want to be a liaison officer. I want to shit all over my fellow Americans. There's a little bit of power available.
And the nice house in Ashgate and their 50 grams of protein. Don't forget that. I hope he chokes on it. It's on your mind, friend.
Huh. Yeah, just overall, just looking at the graphics here for a second, I gotta say, there's some things I really like. For example, the 3D rain, the crisscrossing rain, done really well. Also, if you notice here, looking, you've got all kinds of different lighting sources, a little bit of fog going on, a little bit of volumetric fog. Some excellent, actually, reflection on the ground up front from the wetness. The one thing I noticed, I was trying to figure out just a second ago why I don't see that reflection here, and you see it here, or you see it right here. It's because those areas are actually deeper. They're like sunk in bits of a pavement road. Very cool looking. Very cool. I mean, no one's really said this is an incredibly ugly game, so I don't think we're too surprised by that. But one of the things, a little bit shady, I guess, if you notice, I just call it leaning into the wind, but multiple NPCs are all facing the same way, not doing anything. Got 1, 2, 3. Many times, that one moved. Same thing here. Many times what it looks like is somebody made a amateur level and they just threw NPCs in the location. I sort of wish these guys were doing something.
Let's try not to die today, right?
Almost shot him on accident. Pretty good facial effects on him.
All travel is suspended.
That's awesome. Let's warm my hands by the fire. Oh. So, a lot of people may not pick up on this. I dig it, though. Not only do you hear that fire crackle, you can actually hear the fire bouncing off of the metal drum. So you can hear this acoustic echo of fire crackling within a metal drum. For example, when I grew up, we actually did have a 55-gallon, we called it the garbage drum, but you'd be out, in any of your lawn trimmings and stuff like that, we would burn. And there's a different sound between an open fire and a closed one, and especially one contained within metal like that.
What do you want, little bitch?
Yeah, you can hear that little snap. That's cool.
You gonna apologize?
In many ways, smaller game, obviously, but I like the overall look of this a little bit better than The Division. And what I mean by that is just its presence. There's something a little bit more dreary about this, even with The Division's dreary parts. Kettle repairs, cords and cables, no exchange, no returns, sold as seen. I thought that said rain nachos, but it says rain ponchos. Ponchos for nachos. Philly chicken. Let's see if we can get this guy to get pissed. We've got ourselves this drone, which probably scans me for weapons, though I think I have one. Okay. So I'm not quite sure why that happened. I'm going to probably have to go back and look to see. But
This is the place.
walking
Should be safe here for now.
and just standing near somebody, they can sense you. That's something we'll need to know about in the
Contact
future.
with another resistance cell. Fuck! I picked a bad time to get shot. Remember these?
Oh,
This
whoops.
phone is our ticket to safety. If you can find a network transceiver and hack into it, that'll connect us to the hidden resistance signal and show us the closest safe house. Here, take it.
Wow, I gotta say, I was not expecting
Working blind here.
in any way, shape, or form to have an issue just walking up to somebody. That is gonna affect my thought process on how the game works. You guys know me, I'm sort of looking for that pretty realistic overall view, and the fact that just by getting close to somebody, you magically have some kind of way for them to tell if you're a bad guy always bothers me.
What do you think the lockdown's for?
I don't know. Nothing good.
I'm gonna take a picture real quick. So this is saying left trigger zoom. I'm telling you right now, I don't know. It doesn't zoom at all. It's all right. Okay. So we're gonna. Oh, look at that! When I came down faster than last time. There's an actual attack, like somebody's banging into somebody's home right here. Sweet. You know, you guys hear me talk a lot about when a game has a feeling, I guess, of past, present, and future occurring at any one time. I like that. I like that it's got that here.
I was thinking the other day, I wonder what happened to all the baseball and football teams.
Brothers, wrong shoes.
No real need for sports after the occupation.
A security operation is occurring in the zone. All travel is
Hello and welcome to KAC. Today's top story, wanted terrorists in the
That's cool. So just taking an overall look, you know, just sort of identifying what looks good and what doesn't. I gotta say, pretty impressed with the graphics. You know, it looks okay. Well, it looks good actually, but I have to say the soundscape and you know that overall layering, the layering and the special effects, that looks awesome. Especially little things. Graphically, though, I want to point out, like the lights here on these actual, I guess you'd call them pylons. I love that soft, diffuse look. You know, too often we get situations like this where it's very tight and very, I guess, almost too crisp. The human eye doesn't really allow that. One of the things that is very difficult, well, it's not very difficult, but it hasn't been done a lot until, you know, last couple years, is that faking of the reflection of water on a human eye, because human eyes are moist, and so you don't get that super crisp monitor vision like a lot of games present you. And here you can sort of see that. Yeah, that glow out from the center. Very well done. Looks cool. All right.
I've been keeping an eye on this place. Don't seem to be anyone in here.
Oh my god. That is a good that is a really good texture right there.
Did you need something?
Can I slow her down? Oh, come on, lady. That is just really well done. She's all beat up and cut, and is she going in? No. Yes, she is. Whoa, let's see if I can go in. Nope. So I don't know if she was supposed to go in there or I stopped her in her travels, but pretty interesting. Let's go down. Unfortunately, this is the console version, which means we are stuck not being able to adjust the actual FOV, and I find it a tiny bit tight. The Resistance often mark hidden routes and access points. So if they supposedly marked this, I'm assuming, see that house? I'm assuming the house icon is the mark. Well, unless it's also the graffiti, but we'll see. Easy enough. Oh, there we go. Pay close attention when exploring Philadelphia. The Resistance mark useful locations with special symbols. Okay. And in. Silence is not consent. Very cool. You know, so far, a lot of games that fail later on fail due to repetition, but many times they start out with a really good overall atmosphere and aspect. And right now, this game definitely has that. It really has a great atmosphere. It's unfortunate because, you know, we've heard, you know, some complaints about the repetitiveness and stuff like that, but so far as a worldview, this is pretty cool. You know, it does give you that feeling of something destroyed. In fact, I'm gonna be brutally honest, in some ways it's a little bit better than some other games we've seen where they go out of their way to sort of show you some, you know, area that's been taken over by enemies. This really looks like it has. Valuables can be found throughout the city of Philadelphia. You can trade them for cash. Okay. Old milk carton. Rise? Yeah, rise. Okay. Oh, there's a little shadow issue there. Actually, that's not a shadow issue. That's, looks like two textures trying to fight each other out. Now, this is strange, and I'm not liking it. I can't put that fucking thing back in. I can't push those back in. That is the oddest. Huh. I guess by opening them and not pushing them back in, they're guaranteeing that you don't have to waste your time looking around in an area to see if you've done so. So just taking in the art style, taking in everything, because games like this, it's fundamental, sort of like Primal. Whether you liked Primal like I did or you didn't, just look at a game that you did like, where that atmosphere is in another time or another situation, and it's done really well. It's so important that that be solidified from the very beginning, so that the player buys in to not only that with their suspension of disbelief, but the fact that they know right away things are different, and so they should expect, you know, odd things to occur. For example, it's not strange in an area where it's been overtaken by a bunch of bad guys, a bunch of enemies, antagonists from another nation, that they would just bust into somebody's house. Of course, it's not that strange in New York City right now, but you get my drift. So we see it, and it didn't really shock us because we already knew, we already got this suspension of disbelief building up. World's largest friggin'... Look at those things. They're made for walrus hands. Danny DeVito's penguin. That's his lights. Let's look here. Just looking around, seeing what I can grab. It's always interesting at the start of the game to sort of line up in your mind what it is you can interact with. I gotta say, things like this with the steps, you know, you can see that despite this not being the best game in the world, we've come a long way, haven't we? Even in just the 1.5, 2 years since the release of these systems, in getting some good special effects built in. I'm just gonna explore everywhere here. Oh, I thought I could go to sleep there for a second. Oh, wait, what? Yes, we do. Okay, journal added, scavenging and crafting. GTK items can be crafted on the fly by combining various items. There are 4 ingredients: igniters, propellant, chemicals, batteries. Each GTK item requires a specific combination of 2 of the 4. Crafting takes place within the equipment wheel while highlighting the item to be crafted. Ingredients can be found in the world or purchased. Easy enough. Let's, nothing on the transponder yet. So, I'm just looking for this wheel. Okay, so now I understand the wheel a little bit more. Left bumper lights up what you want to build here. So you can build a hack of some kind, which will be really interesting. That requires, it doesn't say what it requires. Distraction, explosive, and incendiary. Incendiary. I always pronounce that wrong. Alright, so... stolen insulated cable. Right now, some poor dude was playing COD. It was like he saved up months to finally pay that Korean internet bill, and he ends up trying to play COD, and we just stole the damn router. That's awesome. January 16th, 2025. I do love the fact that they look pretty much identical, except this one looks hardened. Oh, very cool. Now, you know, we see this in 2 different places. One, we saw it in World War II, World War I, places that were being bombed. They would paint over the inside of their windows so they could stop light from getting out and identifying their houses and who was inside for people in planes or just enemies. And you also see it in some down and out areas where they do that if they are basically squatting. Very cool little attention to detail. I don't know if I remember seeing that in another game. Somebody, I'm sure, will remind me if we have. Possibly the worst placed pipe in the world. It is just out there. Just, okay, kids, move in. There's just crap everywhere. So this is... stashes are secret locations where the resistance have stored emergency supplies. Take everything you need. Okay, cool. Have you guys always wondered, you know, if other people in the Resistance... I want to tell the story of Johnny, who comes right after Karak. But Karak just keeps taking everything from the stash. And poor Johnny just continually gets captured, gets freaking tortured. He always runs out of bullets because Karak is right one step ahead of him, continually emptying the stash. That's a story I want to play. This is cool. Another router, just because, you know, they're sitting... oh, we took a CPU from that one, got a TV. It is true that using a capacitor and some electronic devices, you could make an explosive. They've got a serious shock, if you guys have ever seen online some of the people who talk about getting shocked by capacitors in some of the bigger TVs. You should... I wish you could take one out there and use it as a bomb. I think that was probably the inspiration for the Nakatomi building explosion that Bruce Willis sets off in the first Die Hard. Voltage regulators. Bolt cutters can be used to cut security locks. Okay. Of course, a health kit. What else would we expect? And a journal entry. Neighbors, we are here at the CCC. We want to raise some serious concerns we have regarding the education camps. We ask you, why is the government seeing fit to introduce these now? They claim the cities are unsafe and the children are evacuated for their own protection, but we believe differently. Why has no date been set for their return? Why is communication so sporadic? The truth, our children are not moved to protect them. Rather, they are now hostages to our good neighbor. Okay. So, that gives you a little bit of a narrative slant to what's going on. You know, a lot of times in games, they don't really explain many times why people in the Resistance would side with the bad guys, right? That's actually done many times where you're like, well, why would this guy ever side with the bad guys? Here, they haven't done a good job yet, except if you notice, those three people were talking, the one guy said that you get food and a nice house. Now, a nice house, we don't know what type of house that is, but we're starting to gather just how bad it can be on this side, where they're taking your children. And, you know, if you're a parent, you want to save your kids, maybe, you know, you join with the bad guys. So. Oh, wow. I don't know what those are. This is cool. That's very cool. Little cabinet fireplace. That's awesome. All right. We're going primal. We'll sit down. Call our little animal to us. Oh, got a flashlight. Now, I think it was left on the digital pad for the flashlight. Not working. Okay, so this is cool. If you guys know anything about wars, the Vietnam War, when it was occurring, a lot of the you know, people who were against America being there were telling one another how to take down different vehicles, helicopters and so forth. And they would actually have crude sketches on how far in front of a helicopter you needed to fire to make sure that your bullets hit the helicopter. It's very sort of creepy but interesting little bit of history, and you can see some of those sketches that were in cave walls and stuff like that that would show you, you know, how far ahead you would have to hit a helicopter that was flying along the ground. And this is cool here. It's somewhat the same way, where they've taken a fairly detailed sketch. This is far better than you would normally expect. And then you've got a little shoot this kind of thing here. Don't let it scan you. Go for the eye. So it looks here like you're going to go for the same thing that scans you. Something weird is going on here. Oh, okay. So it slides on the bed for some reason. All right. Interesting. So we've taken all this. Let's see. Do we leave this area? No. Whoa, wait, what? Oh, that was just the jump animation. I was like, holy hell. Can't go up there. Okay. Aha, I missed this. We got a voltage regulator. Let's see if we can build anything. Doesn't look like it. We do have a flashlight now. Doesn't seem to drop the frame rate. Does a good job. So, one of the things I like here, it's difficult to see if it's cheating or not, but the light cast down and stuff like that actually looks very good. And one of the things I've noticed in this game, ambient occlusion, but one of the things I've noticed is that the light sources, we don't see a lot of that typical flashing and filtering issues going on with shadows. Right now, everything looks pretty good. Let me see here. Yeah. Not too shabby, right? Alright, so I guess I go back downstairs. A little bit of a... Can't tell if that's a frame rate hitch or just a loading hitch, but there's definitely something there. Got some copper wire. Head back out, I guess. Alright.
Attention.
Now, can't save it either, so that's going to be something that I think is going to really identify just how difficult the game is. So when it comes to HUDs, you guys, I want to talk a little bit about HUDs. In Primal and in the Far Cry games, if you turn off the HUD and you really go at the game HUDless with high difficulty, it can be absolutely staggeringly different when it comes to the overall experience. So what I'm going to do here is see what it is, if anything, we can shut off. It unfortunately does not look like they have included the ability to turn anything off. And that, I gotta say, is absolutely sad, because I would love to play this game without a HUD. That would be very cool to play this game without a HUD.
Hey there, I know you, don't I?
This guy's getting rifted right here. Look at that. Dude's up in his face and all that shit. And then, ooh, okay, so this... That must be the safe place, yeah. I don't want to mess with him, or he's going to see me. You know, it's difficult to know just how close you can get to bad guys or not, so we're going to test it. Okay, so I'm assuming you may have to sit in front of a bad guy for him to notice. So you see some frame rate drop right here, if you guys notice. Now, it may have loaded, so yeah, it won't happen, but there is a little bit of a frame rate dip. You can hear a little party of some kind happening here. Maybe upstairs. Oh.
I miss my kids. Hell, you better leave, because I'm about to cry like a baby.
Man, how many times have you guys seen games where somebody's supposedly down and out and they don't look it?
What have you seen?
Well, that's certainly not what's going on here. These characters, that is some of the, you know, they're not the greatest textures in the world, but they're there.
Read on my face.
She said, everything you can say, you can read on my face.
Let's not ruin the half of this.
True. You can see it. The reason why I'm taking it so slow, guys, is because I have no actual idea how, when I didn't see the autosave, and we haven't had that stutter that Cadiz was telling us about, and has indeed been reported a lot of times. So I'm nervous I don't have a autosave, at least right now. Somebody's... So, right now, I'm going to have to say, not really impressed by this ambient sound, not because it's bad, it just doesn't fit. There's unless I'm missing something, there's too many people doing too many things for the amount of people here. And sometimes that can, you know, depending on how much you pay attention, that can actually be a little bit bothersome. A little bit tiring on the ears. And if you guys remember, Cadiz actually did speak about that. So let's see if we can buy something here. So we got health pack, explosives, incendiaries, distractions, hack devices, chemicals, batteries, propellant. And then I can sell mine. Oh wait, I want to try that again. Okay, so I can purchase and sell on the same screen. Lo and behold, that's actually awesome. Looks like some type of firecracker.
You want some company?
What? Oh my god.
Interested or not?
Wow, that's quite simply the worst prostitute I've ever seen. She looks like she was part of a human wheelbarrow experiment where she didn't get to use her hands, and they just rammed her forward like a sled on the front of a bulldozer. Look at that. That is. I'm
judging me?
Yes, I'm completely judging you. Here, let me keep bumping into her. Let's do it. Let's do it, lady. Yeah. Wow. Very good. If you see the cracked lips and stuff like that, just really, things don't have to be the highest definition in the world to be impressive. What's impressive is the attention to detail that you see in something. At least to me. They both can be impressive. Yeah, and see, the overlaying sound effect right now is so loud that it's hard to hear the normal people talking. It's odd mixing.
Man, if you're lost, just let me know. I've lived here for years.
Did you need something? Something wrong?
Use bolt cutters. Okay, so press X. Okay. No problem, you just have to be a little closer. So, ooh. Oh, okay, so the little star, that was the quick save. I'm going to tell you right now, maybe the game's been patched because it's not paused, and we did have a momentary issue, but I was being told 5 to 10 seconds. So, here's what's weird. There was you guys can hear that sound growing here. That overlaying. The girl laughing is the one in particular that sort of bothers me because this isn't a laugh-ready state. If you saw somebody laughing in a situation like this, you would assume that they had gone completely batshit crazy. Or they were a Donald Trump supporter. But instead, it fades out right here. which is cool. And it seems to fade out pretty well, but you know, it's just one of those things that sort of, I don't know, sort of bothers me. Yeah, unrealistic. Okay, so I'm gonna try to, I guess, try to jump up here. Oh yeah, okay. So far, because we're not speeding through anything, I gotta say, it handles traversal quite well. Yeah, quite well. It's not bad at all. Hack network transceivers to reveal nearby points of interest. I'm assuming it's just... Oh, duh, it's right there. I thought this was the door. Okay, so access... I don't know if you guys see it, but there occasionally there's a glitch. Oh, it's not a glitch. So I thought there was a glitch and that the rain was basically turning on and off. Instead, it's a light rain that's illuminated by the lightning. Cool. All right, access panel and move left stick and right stick to find the KPA code. Hack. Okay. Alright. And then resistance tunnel. So, we're here. It says mission log. Let's see what happens. Locate the resistance stash, collect the stash items, find the nearby KPA transceiver, hack it, which is, I've done all that. Just looking, I don't know what strike points are yet, and jobs are obviously coming up later. So, let's, this stash we've already gone to, so I'm assuming... Oh, let's pop out of this. Yeah. Oh, whoa, what?
Attention. A security operation is occurring in this zone. All travel is suspended.
I can't believe it. That's Walker.
Shit.
God.
Shit. They got Walker.
Damn it.
Oh my God. Walker.
It changes nothing. You hear me?
Oh, no.
Others will rise up. You can't stop. Ah! Get the fuck off me.
I've never liked your coffee! Ooh. Temple shot, that'll shut you off.
Did you see his leg?
Suddenly can't spell Mississippi. Okay, so the young Philadelphian, new mission. First of all, let's just take a quick gander, make sure that we haven't missed anything in this small place that we came into. So the hack has revealed a nearby tunnel entrance. Interesting. So, you know what's weird? Man, so start button pauses it, select button or whatever that's called now on the Xbox One doesn't do anything. Left bumper, right bumper, nothing. Left trigger, right trigger, nothing right now at least. Down on thumbsticks, nothing. Left, right. For some reason, I can't bring up the menu for like looking at missions right now. So, can I get out of here? I can't leave through that window. Okay. Let's see if I can leave through back to where we came. Okay, there. No. So you do get you certainly do get a little pop, but I'm telling you right now, boy, if that's the delay we've been hearing about, probably been patched, I would assume. So here we can take just a little gander. Here, let's, I got an idea. Okay, so... So the PDA won't come up right now. It certainly seems like the game sort of takes this odd control and doesn't give it back at certain points. So they probably just want me to move on. Hey, how you doing? You like me? Hey, just 5 seconds ago you were telling me to get lost. So far we've seen a pretty good representation of oppression by another military state. It's cool. You can definitely see that they didn't go too far in the future with their technology. I love the fact the artistic representation in a game really has to be solid all the way through, right? Because if you have a gun that looks really odd and futuristic in a pile of guns that don't, you've got a game like Destiny or Borderlands where maybe you have different weapon manufacturers, but it can still look really odd. Here, if you look, everything looks future modern, right? You don't see anything super crazy, and even the drones remind me very much, if you ever see the Navy SEALs, they have a special dune buggy that they use for some missions, and you can actually see it, and there's sort of a mimicry there that I like, with the tubing and stuff like that that makes up the body. Oh, this is cool. Some very cool graffiti around here. Okay, so you can't hack that. You have to have the access. Same chick.
You looking for someone?
So there, we're starting to get repeated characters. That'll be interesting.
Chewie's gone. What are we gonna do?
Everybody's sort of switched over, noticing that Walker got caught. I think that was his name, Walker. Another. These tents, it's just so nasty. What a horrible, horrible place to camp. Activate flashlight. What about PDA? So weird, right? Just not what I was expecting. I don't know why I can't use it. Okay, I haven't found shit in any of these yet. Like, I don't know, maybe... Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Peek. What? Okay. I'm thinking... That is... I don't know what it's doing, but it's not for looking inside the drawers, it doesn't appear to be. And one last one? Nothing. Nothing. Got our safe house here. Oh, that's cool. It's almost like they change messages or something like that. You know, one of the things that art and stuff like that's actually been used in war multiple times to pass information to different people, where you know, you could put one sign out, and depending on the color of the words, it would mean one thing. It's very interesting. I'm not quite sure if that's a mimicry of that, but I would probably assume so. We got some memory, got some RAM. Time to upgrade the computers, people. Oh, wait a minute. Right? Oh, no way. Seriously? It just looks like I can grab it. Okay. I think we're heading... Oh, check the fridge. Door, can't do anything. On our way down. Jeez, this is looking more like Hostel or something. Open your eyes. Clear the debris blocking access to the tunnel. So that must be behind us. Let's just look around in this room first. Oh, there we go. Okay, so for reasons unknown, the game is just holding back a lot of what we can and can't do. Let's see how dark it is. Wow. So here's something cool. See how bright it is? When I turn off the light, you're going to actually see a mimicry of somebody's focus adjusting to the difference. Dark, and now a little bit brighter and a little bit brighter. Cool. All right. Little touches like that. You know, these aren't too special now, but man, for a long time, I'm telling you, throw bricks in bottles. For a long time, this kind of stuff just wasn't done, you know? It just didn't have the power to do it. They didn't have a way to fake it. I like this. You know, originally I thought, oh boy, I'm going to have to, like, look through everything. Instead, you hit X. If it's got something in it, you pretty much find it. Otherwise... you've just opened a box for no reason. Here we go. Gotta focus the light off to the side. North Korea to launch next-gen satellites. Commentary, 2 years in Philadelphia. Gas prices rocket. What books do they read in the future? Health and safety. And that's about it. Okay, so we'll use the melee to kill these dudes. Health and safety, the art of... I'm assuming that's the art of war. Everything else is too low textures, too low resolution. I'm sure you could probably see it on the PC. which is fine. Definitely appreciate Cadiz letting me borrow this, because it had been a little bit longer before I would be able to get it. Follow the tunnel. I don't know if a lot of you guys have gone to places where squatters are, you know, the homeless and stuff like that. I have a couple times, and this is actually fairly accurate. Like, it's sort of, I mean, it's funny because a lot of times, you know, they become hoarders. You know, whatever is going to be worth one time, you never know if it's going to be worth later. So a lot of it, you keep these setups here, the coolers, or the coolers with the grate. That is a freaking semi-truck. That looks like the front end of a vehicle. Maybe not a semi-truck. It looks like the front end of a vehicle or the top of some kind of metal gate. Very cool. Oh, shit. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to die there. Oh, wow. Was not expecting this. Up above, by the way, you can hear, like, the occasional rooting around, maybe even a gunshot. Find a way to power up the tunnel lighting. Well, that's throwing off sparks, so probably don't want to go there. So here's a Jenny right here. Oh, okay, so they must turn it off when somebody doesn't need it. Intelligent, obviously. That's what you'd want to do. Subway car looks about the same as a normal subway car does right now. Look at that. That's so cool. Little strung Christmas tree lights up here. Funny enough, especially with the newer ones and the low wattage they use, that would actually be a fairly intelligent way to light something. Because you don't need it to be too bright. You just, most of the time, just need it to make sure that somebody doesn't trip and break their damn femur bone. Okay. Oh, awesome. Little low res there on the fog, but or on the mist there, but not too bad. Frame rate hit. Wow. Something's going on in this area. A little too much. Asking a little too much from the consoles. And down. What's this? Oh, pizza box. Disobey. Die NCE. North Korean. Can't remember. North Korean elementary schools. Die! Regardless, really, of what I think of the game as I move forward in the gameplay. You know, as a walking the walk, we look at the graphics, the technical aspects, and stuff like that. I have to say, you know, first time touching the game, normally I get to really play around with the game for a long period of time, but I figured I might not be able to cover it more, so I wanted to do it for you guys, and I gotta say, I'm actually, from a atmosphere aspect, pretty impressed. Atmosphere, guys, so don't read too much into that. You know, I've done a couple walking the walks where the game I wasn't super in love with, but atmospherically it was good. That's sort of what these are about. That reflection of life is so important. Keep clear of doors. Oh, I love that. That texture is great. Yeah, I mean, you can almost imagine that being dirty and somebody wanting to see outside and wiping their hand across the inside and leaving that top and bottom a little bit dirty. Very cool. Anyway, it's that reflection of life. You know, how does it look like people live in the location and experience things and leave behind, you know, human detritus and trash, and just sort of samples that they've been there. I haven't seen anything hidden, by the way. Now, I'm not saying that nothing is hidden, and I'm not saying you can't find secret stuff, but right now, just giving one glance through. Oh, cool. Got the lights there on the floor. Interesting. All right. More Christmas tree lights. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you can see where... Oh, whoa. That's a cool attention to detail. You can see where they've hung the lights. Like, all the footprints there actually corresponded to somebody stopping and hanging something. That was cool. Not what I was expecting. Alright, so, thanks. Ooh. Whoa. Oh, suck.
You see it's good? He was alright. What the
Scuzz and Baker.
Where you going, huh?
Fucking spy, fucking traitor, trying to sell us out to the Norks for a handful of rice, yeah? Let's teach him a lesson.
Norks.
I'll go first.
Easy, Bakes. Dana said we caught anyone, we gotta tell her first. You don't want to piss her off, do you?
Well, I just hope she leaves a piece for me.
I wouldn't count on it. I don't think I'll be seeing you again.
One thing I hate about video games sometimes is that opinion that if I just hit you hard enough, I'll knock you out. In real life, there is a chance that you would just hit and hit and hit until the person effing died.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. First loading that we've had in the game. So, you know, this definitely appears a lot like Primal, where there's a moment of action and then it's a slow burn up front. I'm fine with that. This is an open world shooter, and unlike Far Cry or some of those other games, you know, inside the city the entire time, working with different resistance groups right inside the city. So it'll be interesting to see the gameplay.
I'm Dana. And you are Mr. Spy. You and I are gonna play a game. You're gonna tell me what the Norks know about us.
Norks.
And I'm gonna hurt you while you do it. This game will be a lot more fun for me than you, I'm afraid. Question is, will it be quick? Or will it be really, really slow? Just scream as loud as you want, okay? No need to suffer in silence. Okay.
This chick is quite simply my ex.
Hey, Dana. Here we got company. Who is he?
Just another spy. Gonna ask him a few questions.
How do you know he's a spy?
Well, that's what Baker and Scazzari said.
Those two? Dana, they're dumb as shit. You got anything on him? Say, Doc. Got some ID? What you got here? Ethan Brady. I knew it. Walker's message said he was coming in with this guy.
Well, no one told me.
Yeah, well, if I could ever find you when I need you.
Yeah.
You'd only just joined Harvey's crew, right? I'm sorry about what happened, but you survived.
Look at that. Oh, I wish I could pause it. Look at that dude's hair. That is on the left. That is perfect. Just threadbare. That's really well done.
No hard feelings, I hope.
You're a lucky boy.
You okay, kid?
Okay, that chick, sort of hot, actually. Crazy as hell, but...
I got some pills you should take.
Hey, Doc, you don't need doping up. He needs to keep his focus.
Head injuries can be unpredictable. You feeling confused, kid?
Oh, I thought he was gonna inject me.
He's fine, Doc. You know what's real, don't you, Brady?
Looks like he's been through a lot. Last thing he needs is more trouble. Can't you fix him up a new ID and let him go?
It's not that easy, Doc. You saw the screens. The Norks want this guy bad. Besides, we need people like him. Ain't afraid to take a chance.
And he's seen too much already.
Yeah. So, what do you say, Brady? You gonna stick with us, huh? It ain't gonna be glamorous. Okay. You're probably gonna die.
Wow. Speeches like that. I'm amazed we haven't won the war already.
Yeah, well, that's why we need Walker, huh? Words ain't my specialty. So, any objections to Brady joining us? Yeah. No? Sweet.
Well, if no one's gonna listen to me, I'll be getting back to my work. Good luck, kid.
So long, Doc. All right. As soon as we get word where they're holding Walker, we gotta find a way to bust them out. Everything depends on him. But first things first, we're gonna get you trained up and show you how we do things around here.
I'm heading out. Got that transceiver to take care of.
See ya.
Wow. So that was actually a longer startup than I think I've experienced a long time in a game. I'm gonna pause it here. So, you know, it's going to be a little bit longer of a walking the walk, because again, this is the first time I've checked it out. I know a lot about the background of the creation of this game, you know, passing between two publishers and being remade or restarted at least once. For right now, I can see why maybe some people would have issues with this. If it continues the way it does, and I would probably love it. If it sort of breaks down into the typical action-reaction kind of stuff in a first-person shooter, I would personally think that you're sort of getting away from the strength of the title, which might really be just giving you this feeling of what it's like to live in an occupied area. If you guys have played a game, it's an older game, I believe it's called Prisoner of War, I'll have to look it up, because it's got some sequels as well. Those games, they do a good job of sort of eliciting that feeling of being behind enemy lines and what it means to sort of have to join up with others and, you know, people who maybe you wouldn't join up with normally, that kind of stuff. And if the game continued in that aspect, I could see it being very strong. If it's sort of an open world aspect, then it could be strong. I do know that there's cutscenes, tons of story regarding what you do. In fact, one of the really bonuses, I think, that I've heard from most people who played this game is that when it comes to the fact that there is some repetition, you also get a good deal of story based and sort of wrapped around it, blanketed around that. And so it feels like it's pertinent. It feels like it matters. You know, it's one of those things where I talked about when we looked at Mad Max. Mad Max had a lot of missions that were somewhat the same, but each one very intelligently had one or two little aspects that were just different enough that a month later I could usually guess where a person was by simply watching what they did to, you know, go up in one of the balloons and that kind of thing. So we're going to continue on with this, but I'll say that this is pretty much the end of part one of this Walking the Walk. I get that it's a little bit slower because it's also a first moments kind of video, but it's interesting to sort of see, I think, everybody's reaction at the same time, because I'll be able to see what you guys think if you haven't checked out this game as well, and you can sort of see mine as I look at different things, graphics, and so forth. As we move forward, we're going to look more for Reflection of Life. We're also going to see how the combat works, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching the video. Hope you guys like it. As always, if you give it a thumbs up, I appreciate it. If you give it a thumbs down, I also appreciate that if you disliked it. Peace out.